People love a fairy tale until a single crack in the glass turns it into a thriller. So picture this. One of the most admired figures on the planet, applauded by stadium crowds and fawned over by talk show hosts, glides onto a late-night stage. The audience cheers. And yet, in the very same moment, millions online are whispering the exact opposite, claiming the First Lady of Hope is hiding a secret so wild you'd swear it came straight out of a conspiracy forum. How did that parallel reality get so loud, and what does it reveal about the magnetic brand of Michelle Obama? Stick with me, because by the end, the line between carefully crafted image and raw, unscripted truth might look a lot thinner than you think. Scroll back to 2014. Legendary comedian Joan Rivers, never one to dodge a punchline, is cornered by a street reporter who asks if America will ever have a gay president. Rivers fires back without missing a beat. "We already do, and his wife's a TR and NY." Cameras flash, gossip sites light up, and within hours the clip ricochets around the internet. What began as a throwaway gag ignites a rumor, nicknamed Big Mike, that's still circulating a decade later. Most myths die the moment the facts arrive. This one refused. Each time mainstream outlets debunked it, Reuters alone has issued multiple fact checks. The story only mutated, resurfacing with new edits, new doctored clips, and fresh captions designed to slip past platform filters. That endurance says less about whether people genuinely believe the claim and more about the digital jackpot that controversy can deliver. In an economy where views equal currency, any theory wild enough to provoke outrage becomes a self-propelling machine. But let's swap the rumor mill for hard numbers, because sensational chatter is only half the tale. While online detectives parsed grainy photos, the Obamas quietly pulled off one of the fastest post-White House wealth climbs in modern history. In 2008, their joint net worth hovered near $1.3 million. By 2018, analysts pegged it north of $70 million, driven by advances, royalties, and a speaking fee circuit that can fetch six figures for a single keynote. That kind of leap doesn't happen by accident. It's the result of a meticulously run brand, one that knows how to turn every spotlight into equity. Ironically, the narrative of enormous earnings lands right beside a newer clip that shows Michelle lamenting life inside 1600 Pennsylvania. "You're paying for every bite of food," she sighs, describing what she calls the hidden cost of living in the people's house. Social networks instantly split. Some sympathize, others mock, and the rest churn out memes that rack up millions of impressions before breakfast. The lesson? Even a casual remark from a global icon can snowball into a culture war flashpoint when audiences are primed to read complaint as entitlement. Yet the criticism barely dents the bottom line. By May 2018, the Obamas inked a multi-year Netflix pact under their banner, Higher Ground Productions. Exact figures stay under wraps, but insiders label it a high 8 to 9-figure commitment. Translation: generational money in exchange for a pipeline of documentaries and feel-good programming that keeps their brand front and center without stepping back into the policy arena. Offstage, the microphone gets even pricier. Corporate conferences and tech summits drop upward of $200,000 for 40-minute keynotes where Michelle unpacks leadership lessons and workplace wellness tips. The bookings sell out months ahead, prompting trade rags to crown her the Silicon Valley morale booster. Critics gripe that the fees clash with her every-woman persona, yet the waiting list only grows. Each talk spins off a wave of LinkedIn selfies and bite-sized quotes that flood professional feeds, reinforcing the brand where it matters most: decision-makers with budgets big enough to bankroll the next documentary or campus initiative. In other words, the private sector circuit isn't a side gig. It's the silent engine propelling every headline you scroll past. Then there's the memoir juggernaut. Michelle's book, Becoming, moves 10 million copies in its first year, a haul so massive it forces publishers to reevaluate what a blockbuster nonfiction release looks like. Each sold-out arena on her book tour doubles as a soft focus campaign stop. No ballot required. She leaves every stage with fans clutching signed hardcovers, but also with a reinforced image: the relatable friend who made it big yet still gets you. The relatability strategy peaks when she hops into the passenger seat for James Corden's carpool karaoke. No charts, no policy, just Beyoncé lyrics, Missy Elliott cameos, and 40+ million clicks within months. As of this year, that ride-along holds north of 80 million views, ranking as the segment's most-watched non-musician feature. If online engagement were an electoral map, that single episode turns the entire internet blue. But public warmth doesn't equal political appetite, at least not officially. Each time pundits float her name for 2028, Michelle dismisses the idea with a practiced smile, citing exhaustion and her daughter's privacy. Yet betting markets stubbornly keep her in the top tier. Recent odds list her just behind sitting governors and the sitting vice president, proof that sheer brand power can muscle its way into predictive models, even without a campaign sign. So here we are, one rumor that refuses to die, one fortune that won't stop growing, and a nation that simultaneously elevates and interrogates its icons with identical fervor. The contradictions don't cancel each other, they coexist, feeding an endless loop of fascination. And the most compelling question isn't whether Michelle Obama will chase the Oval Office, but whether the most sophisticated marketing machine in modern politics even needs the official title anymore. Because when a viral clip can change the narrative overnight, who really holds the power? The office or the algorithm? Algorithms reward certainty, but branding lives in the gray zone, and that's where Michelle Obama's image thrives. One click shows you the polished presidential portrait, the next throws you into a rumor rabbit hole, and the contrast is so sharp the screen almost cuts. Viewers don't just watch, they toggle between myth and memo, feeding a cycle the internet happily monetizes. In this maze, the truth isn't buried, it's blended, mixed into highlight reels designed for maximum replay value. Nothing proves that better than a 12-minute joyride through the White House driveway. In 2016, she slid into James Corden's SUV, belted Beyoncé, invited Missy Elliott to crash the party, and left with a clip that has since racked up more than 80 million views. Still the most watched carpool karaoke by anyone who isn't a chart-topping singer. CBS barely had time to roll the end credits before YouTube's algorithm clamped onto the segment, pushing it into every recommended rail on earth and teaching late-night producers that virality matters more than Nielsen ever could. Fast forward to the short-form era, when a Daily Mail camera caught her striding onto the 2024 Democratic Convention stage. The 15-second TikTok was clocking six-figure likes before the speech even reached cable news. A day later, another clip of her clapping back at a rival's comment pulled in 370,000 likes and a blizzard of duets, lip syncs, and reaction stitches. These microbursts keep the brand relatable, but they do something subtler too. They drown out slow-burn investigations with a fresh flood of dance snippets and pep talk soundbites. In under a minute, hard policy questions dissolve into a trending audio track. The long-form hustle never stopped, it just scaled. Higher Ground, the production house she founded with Barack, still ships documentaries, kids shows, and Oscar winners under a multi-year, multi-million-dollar Netflix pact. Audible bankrolls the podcast spin-offs, while streaming platforms queue up new seasons before the old credits fade. Every release arrives with a twin payload, uplifting storytelling for subscribers and another precision haircut to the Obama image, now framed as a voice, lifting diverse stories, not the politician you love or hate. Books, meanwhile, remain her quiet superpower. Becoming moved roughly 10 million copies, numbers that dwarf most campaign memoirs and even many celebrity tell-alls. The advance alone was part of a blockbuster publishing deal rumored at $60+ million, proving that the right signature on a contract still outperforms any algorithm when it comes to raw cash. Each autograph line on that arena tour wasn't just a book sale, it was a micro meet and greet, a selfie, a fresh batch of user-generated content ready to hit Instagram. All of this funnels into the betting parlor whisper factory. She's sworn off campaigns so many times the denials feel rehearsed, yet British bookmakers keep her parked near the top of the 2028 odds board, above multiple sitting senators who are explicitly running. The logic is mercenary. You don't need an exploratory committee when you've already built the most agile media machine in American public life. One well-timed announcement would catch hundreds of millions of followers mid-scroll, turning brand momentum into ballot momentum overnight. So, what does the algorithmic crystal ball predict next? A fresh podcast co-hosted with her brother already teased on streaming homepages. TikTok story times that peel back behind the scenes, slices of life just enough to feel intimate, never enough to turn truly controversial. Maybe an interactive documentary that lets viewers choose which inspirational path she narrates first, keeping completion rates sky-high for the sponsors. Each new format tightens the loop. Content drives engagement. Engagement drives influence. Influence greenlights bigger deals that bankroll more content. Yet the one constant through all the reposts and premieres is the rumor that refuses to die. The Big Mike meme still pops up like an unclosable pop-up ad, disproven but durable. Fact checks smother it for a week. A jump cut edit revives it the next. Its persistence says less about Michelle Obama and more about us, about how controversy fits into the attention economy like a missing puzzle piece. For every believer, there's a refuter. For every debunk, a clickbait thumbnail promising new proof. The algorithm doesn't care which side you're on, it just tallies watch time. So here's the mirror test. Strip away the stadium-level applause tracks, the neon rumor threads, the blockbuster advances, and the perfectly timed TikToks. What remains is a reminder that in 2025, narratives aren't discovered. They're programmed, optimized, and A/B tested until they reach peak shareability. Michelle Obama may be the masterclass, but the curriculum applies to anyone courting followers. Feed the algorithm, control the frame, and never let facts outrun the story. Maybe that mastery inspires you. Maybe it unnerves you. Either way, the next time a headline, a meme, or a glossy book tour highlight flashes across your screen, ask yourself, are you applauding the person or just the pixels? Because in this age of perpetual scroll, the most valuable office might not come with a desk in the Oval at all. It might live in your pocket, waiting to push the next notification before you even realize you've clicked. And if hope can be hashtagged, retweeted, and monetized, the real question isn't who runs for power anymore, but who already has it, no ballot required.